Well, hello. Welcome to this week's edition of the Washington Demon Coaches Show, a.k.a. the Coaches Table, also known as the Washington Press Box or the Patterson Van Welden Power Hour, which for your benefit we've condensed to a half hour. So I'm your host today, Todd Patterson, and I'm joined in the studio by Brent Van Welden, as well as the head football coach, Nick Ehret, and one of my favorite players on the team, Jimmy Strabela. And we'll be talking with them here in a second. So, Brent, I always think I'm going to run out of things to talk to you about.
Did you think of something new to ask me? You can't go off the cuff.
I don't think we're capable of going live without a net, to be honest with you, me and you. But why don't you talk about what's going on in the activities world at Washington Community Schools?
Well, we're kind of between seasons. I mean, we still have one fall season going, one sport. But before we get to that, there's still a lot going on, especially in the middle school. They're getting rolling. They actually have their first basketball games, I believe, on November 1. So they've been practicing. They're in their second week of practice now and getting ready to go. I think 7th grade boys and 8th grade girls are going. Middle school play's coming up November 4th. I believe is the middle school play. I had to write down the name. I had to look this up as well. It's a little lighter than Radium Girls that the high school's doing. So it is called An Absolutely True Story as Told by a Bunch of Liars.
Sounds very interesting.
So apparently someone broke an heirloom and everybody lies about who did it. So that'll be fun to watch for the middle school.
And do they do that at the Performing Arts Center too, or where do they?
At the high school they use the stage there and perform. Right. It's only one show, unlike the high school performance is 3 different shows, but the middle school does one show on November 4 and starts at 7:00. It should be good. Yeah,
well, I would love to go. I'm a big theater aficionado, as you know. Yeah. I like being in them. I don't like going to them as much as. Yeah. But I'll go. You talked a little bit. So going back to the middle school sports, how many games does 7th and 8th grade they play typically?
Oh, you would have to ask that. They get, I believe they get 7.
You should know that.
I know, I should. It's 7. I believe it's 7 or 8. Of course, they only do half a season, so the 7th grade boys will be done by Christmas, and the 8th grade girls will be done by Christmas. Then the opposite come in after. So I believe it's 7 games. Wrestlers, they get 9 meets. They go from November through the 1st of February, so they get 9 meets.
Do they have any invitationals as well?
Everything for them is what I would call a scramble. They just match up. They get 2 matches, 2 kids about your weight, your ability, and they just wrestle.
Gotcha.
November 1's our first basketball game, and the boys practice at 6 a.m. every morning, so they've done that for years. I think Mike Roeder started that way back when.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, and the girls go after school, so they've done a good job sharing the gym. And
send your letters to Mike Roeder.
Sorry, Mike.
Off air, we were talking a little bit about FFA.
Yeah, the FFA, there's 4 kids at the national convention this week in Indianapolis. Charlie Stoutner, Caden Reed, Peggy Miller, and Lauren Lukowski. I think that's right how you say that. So Mr. Plow, our FFA instructor, ag instructor, is taking those 4 kids out there in Indianapolis. I assume it's a good time. It's probably 8 or 9 hour drive in a school vehicle, but they get to meet kids from all over the nation and talk ag, I guess. I'm not sure what they all do. I think they can be elected to national offices and things of that nature. But, Dwayne Van Winkle many years ago took kids out there all the time, and Mr. Klaus continued that. So I think it's probably a great experience for those kids to be able to attend that.
So what about, we got some stuff going on in the choir area?
Yeah, so tonight's the first high school choir concert. Mr. Runnis does a nice job with those kids. It's obviously at the high school on the stage there, and that starts at 7:00. And there's a lot of concerts that are coming up here in the near future. The elementaries, whether it be Stewart, I think they do different grades, maybe kindergarten and first grade together, and then I'm not 100% sure, but they usually fill the auditorium with 700 people when you get the kindergartners in there and stuff. And obviously the middle school, they've got choir concerts coming up as well. But tonight is the first high school, and it's always fun to watch. And then way down the road, Miss Winger, she always has a middle school talent show, so that'll be fun. Maybe we can get her on here.
Yeah, that would be great. Have Kaylee on. I judged for that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, actually. It's not a paid gig.
No,
I learned that after. I was like, do I need to fill out a 1099? They're like, no, you're good.
Free. There you go. Last week we were talking about you volunteer your time, so there you go.
Yes. Well, I can also sell it. Sometimes that's preferred.
Yeah.
No. Kaylee, if you're watching, I'm happy to volunteer again if you need me. Maybe I wasn't the best judge because I didn't get invited back.
Oh. Well, I'll bring your name up again.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe talk a little money with her.
Okay.
All right. How about band?
Yeah, this past Saturday they had the All-State Band Festival. We had 4 individuals make All-State, 3, Bailey Reese, Tig Mayer, and Claire Webina. They all made All-State, so they were one of the best in their different areas. And then we had a couple alternates. Kevin Flannery and Michaela Matheson were alternates, so Mr. Hughes was extremely pleased how well they performed, and I think there was 900 kids there total.
Wow.
Schools from all over eastern Iowa. It was
congratulations.
jammed.
We had Bailey on this show, so I'm thrilled to hear that. And we had Mr. Hughes on this show, so congratulations to the band. They do great work. And also, Mr. Hughes, I'd still like to sit in on the pep band at some point. And talked to Iris Stahl about that last time. She says she's a better drummer than I am. Well, maybe need to arrange a drum off.
Yeah, there you go.
Challenge.
Maybe we could sell tickets and you could make some
I'll
money.
volunteer my time to that.
All right.
Well, pretty excited about cross country. I think that, that's the fall sport you mentioned that's still going on. Right. And those kids have been killing it. We had them on last week. We had 9 of them that qualified, either as a team or individually for the state meets. You can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Coach Hayworth has been in a couple times this week, getting their wristbands and making sure we have all the motels lined up and meal money. And again, there's been a couple banks step forward to give them some money for meals and stuff like that. So that's always appreciated. But they've been working out and they've had some good weather this week, and I think they'll be ready to go. The girls are real excited as a team. I think we're looking at a high place for them, and maybe a couple of girls get some individual medals. And then, of course, on the boys' side, Tyler and Micah. Micah's ranked pretty high, and as Tyler talked about, he's maybe a little nervous, is what he said last week. But I saw him in the hallway actually this morning, and seems pretty relaxed to me, so I'm sure he'll represent real well. So it's fun. It's good that they get to do that, and we put their banner up in the Commons this week, the girls' banner, and put their plaques up in the trophy case for winning conference. So it's a real exciting time for Coach Hayworth and the cross country teams.
What's the weather like expected to be in Fort Dodge?
I think it's supposed to be 50 or 55 and partly sunny, so you can't ask for anything better.
These kids have it so easy.
They do.
We ran in snow.
Yeah.
With socks on our hands.
It'll probably be windy though, on the golf course, but
we didn't have this technical running gear that you guys have. Well, I want to wish Coach Hayworth and the 9 cross-country qualifiers a great meet next week. We're all pulling for you. I think you said you're going to be actually up at the meet.
Yep.
And Is it streamed or anything? Is it live covered or anything like that?
I think results might be live. I doubt they stream it. Maybe they stream the finish line. It would be tough to stream that whole thing.
We'll have to look into that. I'm interested.
Yeah, I think the final results will probably be live. So,
you want to give a quick preview into the winter sports?
Yeah, so we've been having the meetings for girls wrestling and girls basketball and boys wrestling and boys basketball. They had the bowling meeting, so things are starting to get rolling there. The girls wrestling actually starts practice Monday, October 31st. November 7th is when bowling and girls basketball start practice, and then November 14th is when boys wrestling and boys basketball start practice. So all that stuff's going to get rolling here before you know. And November 29th, I think, is the first home wrestling meet. So that's really not that far away.
No, it's not. Not far enough away to rehab a shoulder.
No, probably not. But I wish him all the best with that as well.
Yeah, he started physical therapy yesterday. So he's, it's kind of up to him. And he's going to be pretty determined to get on the court.
That's awesome.
Sure, so.
I'm sure he is.
Well, Mr. Van Welden, always great chatting with you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'll be joined by Nick Ehret, head football coach. Thank you.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Patterson Van Welden Power Half Hour. It actually rhymes better, the Power Half Hour. I'm joined in the studio now by head coach of the Washington Demons football team, Nick Ehret. And this is your third appearance, so you're like crusty veteran.
My name should be on the back of it too.
The Patterson Van Welden Ehret Power Half Hour.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Probably doesn't, yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. And then we're joined also by James Strabela, Jim, who I've known for a long, long time, coached as well, linebacker extraordinaire. And we'll get to him in a second. But, Coach, kind of disappointing not to make the playoffs at the end of this year, but you kind of similar to last year, you ended on a really, really hot streak and some really, really good notes, a 3-game winning streak to close it out after a really good start to the season. That middle of the schedule is tough, right? What are your thoughts kind of overall, and what did you learn from this year, and what are you feeling about next year even?
Yeah, it like you said, it's disappointing to not be in the postseason, but our team showed a lot of heart, going through that tough stretch there, and to end on a 3-game win streak and end with a winning record and send the seniors out, on a win at Case Field. There's a lot to be proud of for sure, and You always start the season wanting to be in the playoffs, and that's obviously always going to be the goal for Washington football. But like I said, this group's got a lot to be proud of, and they showed a lot of heart in those 3 wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to come back after, games like Solon and not kind of lose your bearings and, maintain your identity. And, you guys were really a run-first team this year and really were physical and, fun to watch. And, I think what are you seeing? I one of the things I noticed also is you had, a platoon system, especially prevalent at the beginning of the year, where you had a lot of younger kids involved, and there was a lot of talent. It looked like to me, needed field time and stuff like that. But how are you feeling, kind of as we go forward here next year, and what do you do sort of between now and then?
Yeah, I think, again, at the start of the year, we thought, looking at our roster, that, we have 22 guys that we feel real comfortable playing. And obviously, we had 12 seniors who all were starters for us. And, we had some young guys that we knew we were going to have to count on and, in the years to come. As the season was kind of going on there, we kind of tweaked the offense a little bit. And we just kind of made the decision that, at the end of the day, we need to have our best, most physical football players on the field. And that's why, Jimmy got to play some offense and Deshaun got to play some offense. And
it wasn't always pretty, I'm not gonna lie to you.
And, Ethan was in the secondary. So, we got to a point where it's like we need to have our best guys on the field. And, those last 3 games, they really made some plays for us.
Yeah, so if you can pick a couple highlights of this season, what are the best things you felt like happened this year?
Well, I mean, starting off 2-0 obviously was good. Anytime, we were 500 after non-district, but that still gives you a good chance to have a winning season. Like you said, we had some really close games. The homecoming against Grinnell, came down to the wire. That just kind of seemed, other than Solon, everybody in the district was playing everybody tough. There were a lot of 1-score games, even 1-point games, but to me, it really, the Keokuk game, we were down a score at half, and we were able to make some plays in the second half, and Ethan got that big stop on the 2-point conversion to get that win. Fairfield, that game couldn't have started worse for us. We dig ourselves a 20-0 hole, but then we just fight and claw and make some plays, and then we get an onside kick, and we're able to win that game. And then, I think our last game against West Burlington was probably our most complete game, just how we ran the ball, and defensively we really played well. So, we definitely got better as the year went on, so that was good.
So what do you, other than maybe taking a break for a little bit, maybe you don't, I don't know, but between now and next summer when you're starting to pick this up, I don't really know what the life cycle of a head football coach is. What do you do?
Yeah, well, it's, we've already, kind of started in on next year. We turned equipment in yesterday and let the seniors have their senior talk with the team. We'll start off-season lifting a week from Monday. We'll start leadership classes the first of the year. And then, the big thing for me especially is, we really want our guys to do other things, play other sports. So, I'm excited to watch them play basketball and wrestle. I'm excited for track. I'm excited for baseball. I think that helps our guys. Obviously lifting is important, but I think getting that competition against other people and just that camaraderie with your teammates is
well-rounded experience.
Correct.
That's good. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll be joined by James Strabla, and we're going to get pretty deep here, Jim. All right. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Patterson Van Weldon Ehret Half-Hour Power Hour. Now joined in studio by the one and only James Strabela. Let's talk about the hair first, Jim. Can we?
Yeah.
What's the philosophy here?
Started football. I kind of just wanted to grow it out. Been growing it out since baseball.
Yeah.
And then kind of just let it go. Do it every morning. Make it look good.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Is there a plan here? Is it to continue growing it, or are you going to kind of curtail the coiffure here?
I might have to let some of it go.
Yeah.
When we get into the winter.
Do you get any neck pain from it, or?
No, not yet.
Your sister's, her name is Megan?
Yep.
She told me at baseball that you've been spending a lot of time in the product aisle at Walmart. So what sort of products we're using here?
Mostly mousse.
Mousse?
The spray foam stuff. Put
foam
some of that in my hair in the morning, and then just rub it through my hair.
Do you blow dry it too?
No, I don't blow dry it. I let it air dry a little bit.
Air dry?
Yeah.
What time is that dry?
Lunchtime. It takes a while. It takes a little
How
bit.
long does yours take to dry? Mine is dry by the time I get out of the shower.
Yeah, I'm not sure mine even gets wet anymore.
Well, it looks fan. You have a hard time getting in your helmet?
Not too bad. I kind of have to put it all back and then kind of like scoop it out, put it on.
Okay, well, I'm anxious to see. Keep us posted.
Oh, I will.
Send some postcards and things like that. We want to know. What number position do you play? How long have you played football?
I'm number 14. I play linebacker, and I've played football since I've probably like 4 years old.
Uh-huh. Why are you number 14?
That's what I went with when I was like Pee Wee football, and then I guess it's just kind of gone up from there.
Did you mean to?
I mean, not really. I guess I kind of just got that number.
Who are like some of the famous number 14s that you can think of?
I don't even know.
Can you think of any? I can't think of a single famous 14.
No,
put me on the spot.
It's open there, Jimmy, for it to be a famous 14.
Yeah, there you go. I think you could, unless it's like, Slinging Sammy Baugh was 14 or something like that back in the 40s. I never heard of a famous 14, especially not a linebacker.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the number I went with, I guess.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Divisible by 2 and 7.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about this season. Some, especially, some of the high points and like the coach was saying, there's some adversity through the year. As a senior leader, how do you kind of weather that storm? How do you bring kids along?
So the first 2 games were definitely a high point. Coming out and winning 2 straight was obviously nice, especially since we beat Burlington, who's a good 4A team. And then
it's always fun, isn't it?
Yeah. And then obviously we had that pretty rough patch in the middle, but I'm proud of all of our guys that stuck with it. Our seniors did a good job of leading, I think.
So what kinds of things do you do? Like you got young kids, you got some sophomores playing, who haven't been through a season. A season's hard enough.
Yeah.
Even if you're winning
Yep.
every game, the season's hard. But if you go through a stretch like that, it can really be tough, and practices seem pretty grueling and gnarly.
Yeah.
And how do you get those kids, to kind of, as a senior, how do you get them to know, like, we're going to get through this and we're going to get back on track? And
it kind of starts with bringing energy, not only to like practicing games, but like lifting as well. You got to get on people to show up to stuff. And then it takes everybody. All of our seniors, I thought, did a good job of bringing energy and keeping everybody up, no matter like what our record was towards that bad streak.
So any particular personal highlights from this season?
I mean,
as a linebacker, you can't tell me running the rock there in the last.
Oh yeah, that was definitely up there. I liked running the ball at the end of the year. It was pretty fun.
I saw some pictures. You looked pretty comfortable running the ball. All right, what else? Like,
I thought defense was pretty good.
Just like hitting people.
Yeah, that's what makes football fun.
It's kind of a big part of it.
Yeah.
I was telling Coach when we were off air, you just have a sort of a knack for being around the ball. And I know my son Ethan tells me that too. He's like, Jim is just, he's involved in every tackle. He seems to know where the ball's going. And, he's like, to look at him, you wouldn't think, but.
Yeah. I don't quite have the size, but.
Well, I don't think the hair helps with the intimidation factor.
Cowboy collar. That was
cowboy collar.
A big one, yep.
I love that. Cowboy collar.
Yep.
Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts about, next year yet?
I think we should be pretty good next year. I mean, are
they going to give you a 5th year of eligibility?
We're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. Sure.
No, I mean you personally.
Oh, me. Okay.
I like where you're going.
I appreciate that.
It was a good shot.
Yeah.
It was a good shot.
I don't know. Probably. I've been thinking about football a little bit.
Yeah, at the next level.
Yeah, maybe. If not, probably Iowa State. Kind of thinking like athletic training.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's great. That'd be great for
After watching Matt on our sidelines, flattered at Jet.
Yeah.
Kind of interests me.
Physical therapy, that's a great thing to do too. And thankfully, maybe I didn't see it, Matt seemed less busy this year than he was last year. But last year might have been one of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life in terms of injuries. So thankfully, he was a little less busy this year.
Oh, yeah. He was a lot less busy, which was good.
Yeah. So, well, James, the platform is yours. Anything you want to add?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, thanks for all the support from the community. It was helpful, definitely. But
you don't want to give a Washington Demons high school football rules kind of?
No.
Nothing like that. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
And, I had a lot of fun watching the season. Not every game was as fun, but most of the games were really, really fun. Fairfield game, I think, was a personal highlight for me. And, I love beating Fairfield. But, getting down like that and then, scoring twice in, I don't know how many seconds.
A minute.
Like
pretty close
half
together.
a minute or something like that. And then, so I congratulate you guys on a great season. I mean, you went from not a winning season to a winning season, and now you're going to be in your, third year coming along, and you kind of have your system now. It takes a while to do these things, So I think you're poised for really good success going forward, and so I'm really anxious to watch you guys again next year. So keep the grind going, and good luck to you, James.
Thank you.
Look for you on the college athletic circuit. Hopefully. I think you should do that. I didn't do it, and I kind of regretted not doing it because I could have probably been a 4-sport college athlete. That's all right. Well, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Washington Demon Coaches Show today. I'm your host, Todd Patterson, and we are signing out. Thank you.